Good day. Am I allowed to use the podium? Just to balance myself. Okay. So my name is Pure Madonsela. I am an academic and educational coach. I hold a BTech in industrial engineering, and I am currently employed as a quality engineer. So what brings me to your presence today is to empower the youth with the right vibe and right mindset to kickstart the year as it's a back to school. So I am also an author of a book called How I Aced Matric. This is a how-to guide, how to move from average to excellent performance at school. It's not math, it's how to guide, how do you behave in class, how do you conduct yourself, how do you study, when do you study, how often, and what do you do with that 24 hours that everybody has, which is what will distinguish you from the rest. So I have prepared a little bit something here as my gift for you back to school. So the very first important thing that you need to do, Manje, as we go back and start the academic year in 2020 is for you to set goals. It's hard to achieve something you are not determined to achieve. So you need to say, okay, as the year starts, I'm starting on a clean slate. I want to get distinctions. Oh, by the way, I got 5 distinctions in high school, including maths and science. I was top achiever in my school, and I was also second top achiever as a cat, which is about 10-ish schools or something like that. I also have awards from university as well. So I feel that gives me the right to stand in front of you and say it's doable. Number 2 is that you need to turn those goals into actionable tasks. Now that you know you want 7 distinctions or 8 distinctions, how do you break it down to what you need to do on a monthly basis and on a daily basis for you to move closer towards the target that you want to achieve? You need to track your progress. At the beginning of the year, most teachers share the overview of the tasks that you need to do. They will tell you you're going to have 10 assignments and 5 class tests and 3 tests. So you need to know at every point in time you do a task, how does that translate to the distinction that you want at the end of the year? You cannot be surprised that October, November, but your CAS mark is 11.2. You need to continuously track, be in charge of your education, because sometimes we leave the responsibility to pass to the teachers. You are the one that is there to learn. So the one that's supposed to be busier and having sleepless nights is the one that is on the receiving end of the education. Number 4 is that you need to allow to be inconvenienced. We all want to watch the Queen, but if that time you can devote to studying, be inconvenienced for that time, but you know what you are working towards. They will love for reporters relaying, but when you know I need to sacrifice certain things to move closer to the distinctions that I want. The results that you get, it's a function or as a result of how much you prepare and how much you execute. This cross-nighting thing does not work because you can devote so much into the cross-nighting as your preparation, but it will sabotage your execution because you're too tired to keep your eyes open. So find that balance between how you prepare and how you execute. I usually say an exam is like an audition. It's a do or die. So when you go to that exam room, you are going to perform. Make sure you give it your all. You need to celebrate small successes. That task that you got 70, it's not by luck, it's because you worked hard. The moment you move away from the I was lucky mentality to the I deserved it, I worked so hard for it, it's the time you're gonna start to appreciate the results that you get. You need to look at that one situation in your life that you want to change. 12 months can be a very long time depending on what you are doing and how you are looking at it. My motivation was that my father denied me And I had that thing in my mind that I want him to see me succeed. So I owed myself success so bad that I allowed no distraction to move me from the things that I wanted to achieve. So because you know you want that Mustang, you want that C-Class, it needs to keep you awake day and night. How you manage that 24 hours becomes very important. All of us have 24 hours. Why do other people seem to have more things than the things you have? It's based on how they navigate through the 24 hours. We all wake up at different times. Lomunyu vuga at 5, others wake up at 8. When you are at school, it's time that you devote to your books. But from after school to the following morning is what will distinguish you from your classmates, because we can all laugh together, but you don't know what individual people do in their small corners. You can assume that abafuns, they are like you. When they get home, they watch TV, wire from Skim Sam to the Queen. People study, and do not leave work to pile up. Every time make sure that you are at the same pace as the teacher. Whenever you don't understand, you need to ask immediately. What's the point of not knowing something that you were supposed to know in April? You are now panicking to try and figure out how to do it in March. I always say teachers love us equally, and there is no teacher that has the potential to make a person fail. You fail because you leave the responsibility to pass away. So when you take ownership and accountability of your action, it will be easier for you to influence the quality of the education that you get. You are able to question some of the things they teach because you don't only open the textbook when you're in class with the teacher. I use the narrative of being a cow. When you are in class, you are a cow, you are eating. When you get home, you need to regurgitate what you have been eating. That is the only thing that is making the other one next to you pass, and when are you not? We are all gifted the same, but it's how we use the resources that we have in order to achieve the things that you want. Funders and investors and organizations invest in those who invest in themselves. I am here because I invested in myself by writing the book. That is why I am in front of you. A company that has a bursary will give an A student the opportunity to further their studies, because when they look at level 7, they understand the blood, the sweat, the tears, the sleepless nights, the sacrifices of television, of friends, of a lot of things. It's not just a number. It tells a lot about what you went through to get to where you are. So the company understands that this is the type of person we want to invest in, and they will take the company forward. That is why a company will invest in employing a graduate, because they spend 4 years extra than somebody who is in Matric to develop themselves and align themselves with opportunities that are available. The last thing is that you don't need to tell your dreams to small-minded people. That is how you are not getting some of these distinctions, because you are telling people that don't believe in you, and you start doubting the belief and the confidence that you have in yourself. Manje, I don't talk, I just implement. And be like, Madonsela. I'm like, yeah. When I tell you, you discourage me. And if it feels right in me, then it means I owe it to myself to do it, and to do it at the best of my ability. The last thing that I want to say as I'm about to sit down is that don't stop when you are tired. Stop when you are done. Being tired is part of the journey. Hence, you need to go back to that one situation that you want to change. That will fuel you towards achieving the things that you want. In the interest of time, I'm going to sit down, and I have another appointment, so I won't be part of the rest of the service. So, I can continue. Okay. Let me add on a few things. Sometimes we are not brave enough to confront life. It's one thing waking up every day and being ordinary. All of us are ordinary. What makes one different from the other is the decisions they make. So whether it's for a school project or it's for something different, whatever project that you have been thinking of, start turning those ideas into actions. You need to start show up for your life. There's one version of you, and every day when you wake up, you must, I want to be the best version of Spiwe. Because when you live an average life, you are depriving yourself and other people the potential that you possess. Imagine if I was behaving like a chicken while I know I'm an eagle. None of you would be getting the information that I'm sharing today. So know very well that whatever talent and calling that you know you are sitting with, there is somebody out there whose life is miserable because when you are failing to be brave enough to confront life with conviction. Wake up every day knowing that you deserve to be alive, and when you go to sleep, be grateful of the things that you want. Gratitude. I have what I call the gratitude list. Even when I feel like things are not going right, I look for the smallest things and start appreciating. Oh, I've got Tishabo for the rest of the month. Oh, I've got a loving family even if they don't have money. Oh, I've got a job even though I don't like it, but at least I still have income. I have a child that looks up to me, that wants to see me as the better version of myself in order to influence the young adults they will be. Growing up without parents was not a problem for me because I had a family that understood love and unity. If you are in a toxic domestic situation, that is what you need to endure but have an exit strategy. The problem is that we don't want to exit. I was telling my colleague yesterday that there's two types of kids that cry. There's that kid like, oh, but they are standing in the moment of the incident. There's that kid that will cry towards the mother. Stop crying in one position. If you hate that job so much, if you hate that maths teacher, make sure that you pass and go to the next grade. Make sure that you have an exit strategy for the situation that you are facing. Otherwise, years are gonna pass and you're gonna be like, 2020 is my year, 2021 is my year. It's never gonna be your year if the mindset is still the same. Change the mindset, turn those dreams, those ideas into reality by turning them into actions. You never know who's watching, so keep pushing. I am here to plant a seed. I'm going somewhere else to plant another seed. One day somebody's like, Aibo, this girl Utagaimara. You understand? So you never know who's watching, you never know which opportunities are available. But when you look at the I don't have and you focus, you lack to focus on what might happen if I work hard, is where you are getting it wrong. Coming from that background, I understood very well that there was no money to take me to university. That did not stop me from working hard. Instead, with my hard work, there was a lady for me who came out of the blue and she was like, I want an orphan who is a girl who is a hard worker. I was handpicked to get my bursary because I knew I had to do what I have to do. Do what you have to do so that tomorrow you can do what you want to do. Because if you fail to do what you have to, you will always do what you have to. But the time when you do what you have to, then you know you will do what you want to do. If you today you want to go on a road trip, then you know, okay, I'm driving to heaven. But it's because of the 5 years or 10 years of hard work that you have been investing, so that 10 years later, you can do the things that you want. You can buy the clothes that you want. You can drive the car that you want to drive. So I want to challenge you this morning as you start your 2020 to confront life with conviction, to be brave enough. When I wrote this book, I'm thinking, my former classmate probably thinking, usibukisa ngabantu, why athina bekayi-A student? You understand? So abantu bazothini does not pay bills. Abantu bazothini does not open doors. Block those energies, block those people. You need to start living like you're living alone. Whatever makes sense to you is what is right. Because I promise you, people will forever tell you about what will not go well. And when you focus on that, the dream dies before it's even born. So you need to confront life with conviction and don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. Thank you.